Welcome to the Veterans on Life podcast with your host, Alpha Bless and Omega Sin.
Ladies and gentlemen, peace, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, good night, whichever the case may be. What up, though? I am Omega Sin. He is Alpha Bless. And this is Veterans on Life. You heard? This episode is about new school versus old school military in general. And by new school, I mean anything after my brother and I got out of the military. So we say 2020 till now.
Yeah, so we came in 99 and I figured old school, because I started seeing a change around 2015 on, but mainly like around 2020, I saw like a major shift. And it was like, things is different. Because I got out 2017, and that's when I was like, something ain't right, it's time to go. And then 2020 on, I figured it's a whole different world. So I figure for us, old school, we could consider, for our purposes, 99 to like 2020-ish, and then 2020 on to like today, we consider it middle school.
Yeah, because I got out in 2007, so my perspective of the military hadn't changed.
Yeah, so you all old school, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see any of those brand new rules go into effect or how they changed and manipulated the crucible. And I didn't even try to research what the new school Marine Corps looked like because I didn't want to cry.
It's, man. And if for those that's watching the show, like, understand that it's not necessarily a bad thing when we say like old school versus new school.
Right.
Training is training. However things get done, they get done. They're still putting out a good product. Marines are still out there doing what they do. Army's still doing it. We even got the new branch, Space Force. Navy's doing that thing. We're still the most lethal military on this big blue ball. But how you get there is what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
Like training, technology, skill set, like all those things. Things have changed dramatically. And it's kind of a big thing back and forth on the internet too. Like you see like they call them the bro vets, where they have like, they always speaking forward about like, oh, well, back in my day we didn't do like this sucks and that sucks. Then you get the new school guys that are in the military talking about, oh, this is great. Old school guys don't know what they're talking about. So it's kind of a hot button topic within the military itself, you know, especially when you get like the veteran community involved.
Listen, I don't even see any of that because I see all the positive stuff about the military when I'm on. I don't really see too many people bashing or too many people bickering back and forth about the new school versus old school. But then again, all the forums I'm attached to are usually Marines that went in when we went in. Marines that got out when we got out. So I'm not going to see any of that. All right, the new school is better. Like, I have one really big issue with the new school.
I will say this though, before you get into that, I will say I beg to differ. I wonder if you have seen the new school military, because you see it on YouTube, you see it on Instagram, you see it on TikTok, you see it on all the social media platforms. And you see things that would not have even come close to passing in our time.
Yeah.
Case in point, I did an experiment the other night because I knew the show was coming. So I said, all right, I'm going to go in and call it meal talk. So it's like TikTok, but it's like military, they call it meal talk.
Mm-hmm.
I said, let me see how many of these dudes I can see online, on TikTok, and see how many of them would get their asses handed to them from grooming standards alone, height, weight, and grooming. Out of the, and I counted, I got it written down. Out of the 20 that I saw, none of them all of them had some form of 670 violation, whether it be facial hair or height and weight standard. Now, I get it. Policies change, and we had the whole shaving shit where you didn't have to like shave or whatever because you had, you know, the skin issues or whatever.
Yes.
But all of them, all of you got full beards, shaped up. I'm talking about shaped up, looking like your facial hair. It was like dudes. Like I'm talking staff sergeants, E7s.
Yeah, that's wild.
Like full beards. Then you had the female Marines or female service members with the hair and the cover just sitting on top of it like this because they can't put the cover on. Like, I mean,
nah, that didn't fly. And I know for a fact with the females it didn't fly because I got smoked by a female instructor.
You did. That you did.
Oh, but the grooming standards is crazy. Like, they literally are walking around with full beards.
Yep.
They are walking around at grocery stores in their BDUs. Like, what?
Yep.
Now, Marines never were able to do that when we were in.
Out in town, nah. Like if you was on base, you went to like the 7-day store or the you know, all that. Then because you on base, so no one's gonna be like, "Why are you in uniform?" Because everybody's in uniform.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were out in town, like no one, like when I was in Lejeune and I lived off base, no one really said anything if I went from like the base and I like stopped off at the gas station to get gas and like grab some real quick, went back to my car and then boom, went to the house. Now if it's like 8-9 o'clock at night and I'm in a bar in my uniform, that's a problem.
Yes indeed.
That's a problem.
And I've seen them walk into bars in their BDUs in the 2020s.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy. And I look at them and then I say, "Hey, you supposed to be in here in that?" "Oh, what you mean? I could wear this wherever I want." I said, "No, the fuck you can't. I'm a vet, dog, and we don't do that. Why are you in a bar in your BDUs?" "Oh, my camis." "Oh, they're your camis. Get your ass out of here. Go home. What are you doing?"
So that's kind of why I wanted to talk about this, because it's almost like a clash of like culture. You know what I mean? Like, I got one for you. What's the one major thing that Marines are known for as far as with our, like when we go to weapons, what's the one thing that every Marine does?
We're marksmen first.
Exactly. And how exactly did we do that? With like what was the one key factor that we did that pretty much no other branch did when it came to marksmanship?
See, now you're gonna make me think, and I don't want to think.
I got you. We in the Marines, we fired from 3 different distances.
Yeah.
Like, so, but the main one being 500
yards out
with iron sights. Pick it up, iron sights, dial in your dope, do your windage, the whole 9 yards, mark the spot, you know, clear front side post for with aperture really on front, clear front side post, blurry target, you know, whole 9 yards. I still remember everything today. To this day, if you give me M16, they call it a longbow now because it's big, or M4, I can dope that thing and take somebody out for 500 yards. Yeah. They got scopes now.
Wait, what?
They got optics now.
Oh, so you're not really a marksman.
That's what I'm saying. So
you're just able to fire a weapon and use a scope.
Exactly. So it's like, my problem with, now I don't have a problem with them using optics, but the problem comes in if like, okay, now what happens if you running and gunning or room clearing and boom, you knock that optic off and now you only have your iron sights.
Yep.
Are you able to use it? I don't have a problem with them using optics. As a matter of fact, when I got in, we put optics on our weapons,
Mm-hmm.
but everybody knew how to use iron sights.
As you should. You shouldn't even be allowed to use an optic unless you can use just your iron sights.
Exactly.
You should be trained on that first. You shouldn't be given that right away. That's
exactly like, so I got no problem with them using it. I just don't have a problem with them using it off rip. Like in boot camp, that's all you know.
right.
So like we used to do the dime washer drills. We had to snap in on the barrel off in the middle of the field, dry fire, literally in the middle of the hot ass sun. We sitting up there. There's a barrel in the middle of the field. And we sitting crisscross applesauce, aiming in, and at a target on a barrel.
You know, that was the only time I was able to sit like that.
Dude, you could say I give you $1 million right now if you can sit like that. I would just be broke.
I'd just give up. I'd be like, nah, dog, I'm good. I was like, I don't want my kneecap 20 feet away trying to do this for $1 million because I'm gonna spend half of that just trying to put my kneecap back. Like, no, I'm good. Nope. No, I'm all right.
But I don't, like I said, so that's one major change. That's from the old school. Now, again, I don't mind that they do it. I just think that they give it to them in boot camp, let them shoot iron sights so they get the basics. Now, when they go to their advanced school or whatever, when they get to their unit, give them an optic.
Right.
See the EO tech or whatever it is you're going to put on there. Do it then. Because now, at least they got the fundamentals down. They know how to actually shoot. So, that to me is a cardinal sin. And again, it's because, old school Marine, that's all I knew was like, give me your iron sight. I went to my unit when I switched to the Army, and they had switched to M4s. And I went to the armor and I asked him, I was like, you got any M16s? And he was like, yeah. I was like, can I get that as my weapon? Can I get M16? He's like, why you want that old thing? I'm like, because I know how to shoot it. He's like, yeah, but we got these M4s and da-da-da-da-da. I said, I guarantee you, I can outshoot anybody here with this M16. Yeah, but we ain't got sights for it. Who said I wanted sights?
Exactly.
First of all, you're shooting paper. We ain't even going to a range. You shooting paper, dude. Just give me the F-16. They didn't believe me. We get to the range. They got the paper targets out there. I outshot everybody in my unit with an F-16. And they got the pop-up targets when we went to the other range.
Yeah.
And they had a target that was like 300 out, something like that. And I missed the first couple shots because I didn't have it doped right. And they were like laughing. I was like, no, I got it. I said, give me 3 more rounds. 3 more rounds, I doped it, knocked it down every single time. This, again, I don't mind them doing it, but it's like, come on, man. They forced me to take an M4. So I had no choice.
Of course they did. You had already embarrassed them. They don't want you. They want you to be uniform now. Like we're all toting these M4s. You need one too.
Yep. So yeah, they forced me to take the M4, which was fine. I didn't care.
Hit you with the come on, old man.
Yep. Yeah. That too. There was a lot of that, but yeah. But I mean, so I would say the main differences between then and now, I would say discipline is an issue. Because they put more feelings into the training, and they just, I had a buddy of mine who was a DI recently. His whole thing was it changed to where they can't be as intense as they were before when we came.
Right.
And I remember telling him, I said, that's not a good thing. And he
not
said,
at all.
He said, what do you mean? I was like, it's not a good thing because now you're giving them options. Now, anyone hearing that would say, what do you mean it's about? When you have 77 or whatever the number is in squad mate of individual personalities, those 3 or 4 men, now men and women, don't have the time to cater to everybody's little whim. We got 13 weeks to make you all basically train Marines. I don't have time to take Private Schmuckatelli off into the corner and see what he feels right now. I got 65 other dudes that, I gotta take care of. I don't have time for you right now. So they have, it sounds cruel when I tell people on boot camp, they're like, God, what do you mean? They call you everything but a child of God. But it's for a purpose. Everything in Parasite is for a purpose.
To build a tougher skin.
Yep. And they broke everybody down and they built everybody back up. And it worked. Right.
And if they couldn't bring you down, they used the platoon to do it.
Yep. Yes, they did.
They sure did. Until they realized the platoon is not going to do it because they are afraid of you. Like, no, we good. No drill, no sir. We not. No. I remember the first time. Now, this probably doesn't happen anymore. Do they still IT people on the quarterdeck? Is that still a thing?
From what I understand, it is. Because again, everything, as you know, everything wrong Parasite is not only like scheduled, but it's time. So like they have certain time acts they have to hit throughout scheduling. So they got to get certain things out for certain. Everything is written down in schedule. So they still do, from what I understand. And anyone like that watches this, Rick with the new school, tell us if we're right or wrong. But from what I understand, in the Marine Corps, make this distinction. In the Marine Corps, yes, they do. I don't know about the other branches. I didn't go to Army boot camp. I was just in the Army. Now, my son went through boot camp in the Army, and from what I can tell, from what he went through, when we talk about what he went through, I don't think they did anything like that. I know they got rid of the shark attack because that was deemed too aggressive. So they got rid of the shark attack. Meaning like all the DIs just come out of nowhere and just
So basically day one for us?
Yeah. What do you mean day one? Talking about
every day
up until week 12.
Like all the time, whenever they felt like it.
And then why? Before church, after church, we're waiting for you outside the church. Yeah.
It's 3 in the morning.
Yep.
What?
Exactly. But from how he went through, I didn't get any, because that was the one thing we talked about when we were talking about boot camps. Like, when they took me on the core deck and we bust power out of the sand pit, or we went out on the island hopping campaign, sand pit. He didn't talk about none of that. I'm like,
so he ain't had no fun in boot camp then.
Like you ain't never had to get down and push.
Like
nothing.
And to be totally honest, when I think about boot camp, all the ITing and all that was the fun part.
Not when you were going through it.
Right. But now that I'm thinking about it now, I'm like, that was all the fun. Because those were the great things you could talk about later on. Like, but let me touch on this, because you mentioned that you did not have to go through Army boot camp.
Right.
For those of you who don't know, and I'm sure some of you are saying, tell these motherfuckers, they need to know. Marines don't go through anyone else's boot camp once you become a Marine. You can go to any branch of the service you want after the Marine Corps without going to boot camp. Why, you ask? And I hate to say this, but Marine Corps boot camp is probably the most elite boot camp in the services. And y'all can argue with me all you want. If you can prove to me otherwise, I will admit that your boot camp is better. But until you prove to me that your boot camp is better, nah, son. Because even now, I'm seeing them all on YouTube.
Oh. I seen it. And that's not to say that somebody will get in this and say, well, I went through this school. We're not talking about schools after boot camp. We're not talking about the one for like the Rangers for the going to Rangers. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about RASP. We're not talking about SEER. We're not talking about buds. We're not talking about any specialized units after. We're talking about basic boot camp. Basic boot camp. I will say this: the only other basic training apparatus, as far as making a basically trained troop, that I would say is more difficult than Marine Corps boot camp, would be the French Foreign Legion, because that's the only one that I can think of that I would say I'm good.
Like, nah.
I'm good.
All those specialized groups that Alpha Bless mentioned, most of them are trained by Marines. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, that's not true. Yeah. Well, the Rangers know, but yeah, like SEALs and Bloods and all that. Yeah. And then they got SEALs within that because Army and the Navy, and it's just, yeah. So yeah, yeah, I give you that. But to his point, if you want to, like I said, I say argue with your mama, but if you want to argue it, then you explain to me how I can go either Hollywood Marine or go down to PI. I can go through boot camp. I'm a basically trained Marine, serve however many years, get an itch, decide I want to go to any other branch. I don't have to go to their boot camp, but I can go to the Army. Let's say I go to the Army as an infantryman, go through RASP, get a Ranger tab, and then get out and decide I want to go to the Marine Corps. You're going to Paris Island.
Yep.
You got a Ranger, you're going to Marine Corps boot camp. Because not only for the physical aspect of it, which, if you were at that level, that would be a breeze for you. It's the procedures, it's the nomenclature, it's the language, it's the community, it's the lifestyle, it's the history. All of that has to be learned. It's a part of being a Marine. It was explained to me like this: you join the Army, you join the Navy, you join the Air Force, you join the Space Force, you'll become a Marine. You ask any Marine on this planet, hey, what's the Marine Corps birthday? 10 November 1775, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It's ingrained in your head. You get all that knowledge. So knowledge is a part of boot camp for Marines. It's part. So argue with your mama, but Marine Corps boot camp is the hardest one out of all. Sorry.
Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yep.
That's it.
Now, which do you feel, and I say this, and we can talk about it, which do you feel is worse, new school or old school? Because we went through a lot of shit. Some of it good, some of it kind of unnecessary.
Yeah.
Well, which do you feel is worse as far as like new school to old school? I know you're only coming from an old school history, but which do you think, given what you kind of see from now and what you know you went through then?
If I have to, without bias, I gotta ride with the old school. The new school they're definitely doing a few things differently and a little better when it comes to physical fitness and training. Because, technology has changed, plyometrics has changed, cardio has changed. All those training statistics and all those training apparatuses and the way we train and build muscle has changed. But when I was in the Marine Corps, when we went to boot camp, I went into boot camp 175 pounds.
Yep.
I got out of boot camp 220 pounds.
Yep.
Went to my first duty station and put on monster weight. My third year in the Marine Corps, I was 305 pounds, 14% body fat. So I was building muscle, but I was massive. I wasn't this slender, toned, defined Marine. And now that's what I'm starting to see with these new school Marines. They're jacked, but they're cut and slender and they're streamlined. They're built for speed. Whereas I was built to punch a hole in your face. If I lost my weapon, I was whooping that ass.
Yep.
They basically training y'all to run.
Yeah, you're right. And so
Bishop like, damn, when you put it that way.
no, because it makes sense. But it's like, but you're absolutely right. And I remember going through, and like I said, I had like all the old school tactics, and even through my job, so starting as a combat engineer, like all the like things that we went through, like the skills we did, like the knots and like calculations for for blasts and all this stuff. All that stuff changed and got modernized. We used to calculate it. We would sit down, write it out, and like calculate, the blast, how much C4 do we need, everything. Like you gotta know the RE factor of TNT, the RE factor of C4. We have to know all that. We would calculate everything out. Now they got like, you plug it in and it tells you, all right, get like this and this and this. And like they don't have to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's everything's like, and for the fitness, I remember we would have like regular, like we get up, we do our stretches, and we go run. And then we come back and we stretch again, and then like cool down, and then that was it. And then we just like rinse, repeat. Next day, same thing. Next day, same thing. Every now and then we'd have like a fun day. We'd do like flag football or something. We'd do something different.
Yeah.
Then some smart people with 30-pound brains somewhere, some university said, "Hey, you guys are hurting yourselves." We're like, "So?" And then they're like, "Well, try this." And this sports medicine team would come down and teach us all these different things. And they had like ladders and cones and teaching us all this other stuff, and like plyometrics and all this other stuff. And then the nutritionists would come in and eat this, don't eat this, and da 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 da. And it worked until like the old school platoon sergeants got sick of it because we was lugging around equipment like ladders and stuff, and that was more shit they had to buy. And then supply wouldn't give it to us any damn way. So it was like, so we did it for like 2 or 3 weeks. Commander was happy, and then it was, now go run. Okay, well, what about the ladder? No, just go run, go, no. Put that ruck on, go up that hill. I'll see you back in like 2 hours. So in that respect, I say the new school, has old school beating cases. Like they're willing to accept change, and they're more receptive to it, and they adjust better than the old school, because you and I both knew if it worked one time, that was how we were going to do it every single time after that.
Right.
Like what we do in our off time, like we sit around the bees and pull out our boots, get our kiwi, get our cotton handkerchief, and just spit shine boots and like laugh and joke and drink and laugh and spit shine boots, because God help the Marine that showed up in that Monday formation with Hershey bars on his feet. If your boots wasn't shining like black glass, I hated it for you. But at the same time, don't be that Marine whose boots shine brighter than the person to this. If you shine brighter than Gunny, you still had a problem.
I had that problem. I had that problem multiple times. Staff sergeants had failed me for cami inspection due to my creases. Like, what the fuck? And the crazy part was, you passed the 6 motherfuckers in front of me, and they paid me to iron their camis. So how is it my camis failed and theirs did not?
Well, one, you was bigger than they was, so they didn't like you from that standpoint.
Definitely.
Two, they knew you did theirs, so they had to ding somebody. And again, you being the bigger one, they had to put you.
Yeah, somebody had to get hit. Let's make an example of the power tool. Let's get that motherfucker. If we fail him, everybody could be like, "Oh shit!" No, that's not how that works, Staff Sergeant.
Now, I was there from the transition. I don't know if you were, when they went away from the black boots to the tan boots.
Yes, I was there for that.
And I remember there being a almost insurrection within the unit where you had all like from master sergeant to sergeant major to all the gunnies fighting like no, like we don't want this, like leave our boots alone, to them saying okay we can wear either or, and then somebody else coming down like from one high saying no, everybody's wearing tan boots. And you had those gunnies that fought to like, I'm talking about they wore them boots to the last day before they got the tan boots. Like to the last day they wore.
We had, when we got them, I think I was deployed. And they told us, they said, listen, while on deployment, you wear these. When you're out, you wear these. When you are at work, in your duty stations, on base, you wear black boots.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. If we were deployed, bring them tan motherfuckers with you and wear them shit.
Yep. Now, a lot of people don't understand. One of the things people don't understand is they, I don't know if it was the same for you, they gave us the first pair. Mm-hmm. And the first pair, the things were horrible. It was like wearing cement blocks and there was no gear and everyone was walking funny. So then they came up when they were like, oh well, these are just kind of like the base model. We need y'all to go and get these. And they were the ones that had the EGA on the side, side of it. And we had to buy those.
Yep.
So everybody went out and bought them, and of course they didn't have enough on base, so they didn't have your size. You had to wait for the next shipment. Instead of like all like the upper echelon was buying like 4, 5, 6 pairs. So by the time you got there, and I have a very popular size foot, in the size 12. So, but I would wear a 13 because I wanted the room. They never had the size, and then I finally got 2 pair. I was like, finally, good. Then they said, oh, it's the wrong color tan. So those are no longer authorized. We're coming out with a new tan. And then that one came out, so we had to buy that one. And then there was something wrong with the suede or whatever it was on it. It was falling off. So those were discontinued. So we had to wait for the next ones to come out. And then I must have bought 5 or 6 pair of boots before they finally said those.
Thank God I was going before all that happened. Nope.
Again, a lot, and like we do now. I don't want to seem like we didn't, but we got clothing allowances. Like so, they would give us money for uniform stuff. And that was like once a year. But we would get clothing allowances. But everything that we had uniform wise, they didn't just be like, here's your uniform. Here's the boots. Here's this. We had to buy all that stuff.
Yeah,
like all of it. But then
they gave us the first one. It was like crack. The first one's free.
Yeah. And then they had to switch to candids. So we switched to candids. And then they went to the digis. And then, now, I do like what the Marine Corps did. Because what was happening is we changed the uniform the first time. And then, like, the Army and the other branches stopped it. So then they came up with the digital design that they have now. And the Marine Corps said, fuck you, and patent that shit. So no other branch can use the digital design.
Except for the Navy.
No, not even the Navy.
There's Navy digis.
Well, it's digis, but it's not the same. They can't wear like the Marine Corps version. Because remember, the Marine Corps digis, somewhere on it, somewhere is an eagle, globe, and anchor.
Yeah.
Or somewhere within the design, on all of them. So the Navy has their own digital set because theirs is special because they have to do something with out in the water in the sea or something like that. So their design is like special but different. But then the Army came up with their digital design, and it had to be markedly different than ours because they happen.
Yeah, I don't like the Army digis.
No, I didn't like them either. At all. And like the computer threw up all over. It's like, I don't understand how you can.
a bunch of ones and zeros everywhere.
We in the middle of a desert, and I'm sitting up here look like, a dot matrix printer, like printing my uniform out. How is this camouflage?
Like they can see you from a mile away.
Right. So I don't know, but with that, I said that to say this. Now, when they change things in the military, like everyone just goes with it.
Right.
Whenever we change things, there was always a fight. Like folks were like, no, and like the opinion, we would have like formation after formation after formation because things kept changing. Okay, they said we can do this for this long. This got pushed back, so you keep wearing it. And then when I was in the Army, it was the whole thing about the berets, like the color of the beret, because different units had to wear different color beret. Well, you don't wear the berets now you wear, your cover. This is how you wear your cover. It's 7:30. You wear the berets here, and you wear this here. Well, if you're airborne, you wear this color beret. If you're not, you wear the black beret. Like, but now, they just tell them what to do, and then they give it to them, and they're like, okay, no problem, I'll take it. But to bring it back, which do I feel is worse? I feel the new school is worse.
Yeah.
And I say that because there's a lack of, and this is my opinion, I'll start by saying that. I feel there's a lack of discipline. There's a lack of, there's no standards anymore. There's little to no standards. There's no, from what I can see, there's no camaraderie. Like it's kind of
right.
Like it's a very selfish thing now with them. Now the equipment is great. The training is excellent, but the unit as itself, it's just kind of like, it's almost like a socialist. And I'm not going to get into the whole, we don't do politics and all this stuff here, but there's a lot of stuff going on within that takes away from the things that those in the military need to do. I shouldn't be concerned about what you're doing in your off time and what you dress as. I need you to do the job. And there's too much of that mess in the military. And the other big thing that I think is hampering the military from being what it used to be today is social media.
Yes.
I'm not saying social media needs to come completely out of the military because it's a great tool for advertisement and recruiting and getting a message out. But this sounds horrible because it sounds hypocritical, because we literally fight for people to have the First Amendment rights to say what it is they want to say, how they want to say it, and redress, the government, and redress their leadership.
Yep.
But there needs to be a line that you can say, and there actually is. There's actually rules within UCMJ that explicitly spells out what people in military, while in uniform, can and can't say. Because you can't bring, discord, or disparage the military. It's there for a reason. And all I see is just folk just full on saying whatever they want to say about operations. My command is this and blah, blah, blah. I can't believe they're kicking me out. I say it, I'm not gonna blah. It's like, you volunteer for this, dude. And you volunteer, but now you don't want to do X, Y, and Z because you don't feel like it, or because somebody told you to square yourself away, and now you feel you got the ability and or the power to see what it is to go against it because you a grown ass man. So,
like, remember, you were a grown ass man when you signed your life away.
That part.
You were a grown-ass man when you took your ass to MEPS the second time, where you could have said no and not had to go. And before you got on that bus, you could have tried to run.
Yep.
But your grown ass got on that bus and went.
Yep.
So do what the fuck you told.
And there's ways to do it. Like, remember, I know you remember this. We was in the middle of our weapons weekend, we were in the middle of rifle ball. It wasn't Noga. It was one of the other dudes because we ended up having to pull Firewatch because they put his rack in the middle of the weapons bin. because he was considered suicidal because he didn't want to train anymore. Because he stopped and he sat cross-legged in the middle of the rifle line. He was on the 3-yard line and he just stopped.
I think that was old boy whose his wife left him while he was in boot camp.
Yeah, and he said he refused to train.
Yep.
And I remember they pulled all of us, the PMIs pulled all of us off the line. And all you saw, it was the first time I ever saw a drill sergeant be pissed, but not yelling. Because they was like circling when they was talking to him, and he just kept saying, no, 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 no.
Mm-hmm.
And they started yelling. And then the seniors came out, spoke to him, and then he was like, no, no, no. And then next thing I know, they like got him up, took his weapon.
Yes.
Then they got him up and they took him online, and then we got back to, we didn't talk about no more. We came back online, finished our call, and then we got to the bay. Remember, we had to go to where weapons was. We had to hike there. When we got there, they took his rack to wherever it was, and they put it in the middle to the front of the squad bed, like right in front of the quarterdeck.
Yep.
And that's where he slept. And we had to pull not only fire watch, but we had to pull guard on him because he was being suicidal.
So yeah, there were two fire watches that night, overlapping.
Yep, and we actually had to watch him. And
drill instructors came out every hour on the hour. They came out to check too. I remember that. That was wild.
So yeah, there's ways to, if you don't want to do it, there's ways to do it. Now, the one thing I tell everybody, I believe it's the same across the board for all the branches. The quickest way to get out of basic training is to graduate. And that's especially true on Parris Island. Quickest way on Parris Island is to graduate. Because the minute you say you don't want to do something, or you constantly fail something, you're going to be on Parris Island for a while. And they can put you in a whole platoon for a couple of months.
Yep.
And then they're going to send you home bald-headed with a bus pass. So, and then here's what they don't understand, because when I was a recruiter, I had a kid that got kicked out because he decided he was going to sneak out the barracks, go to the 7-day, put on his uniform, go to the 7-day store, buy a pack of Newports, come back and smoke where the drill instructors go down and smoke. And he got caught, obviously, because nothing was on scene on Parris Island. And then, so they kicked out, they sent him home. So I'm in the office, back up in CT, and first his mother called me. Like, why is he home, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't know. Because I guess people think that recruiters just talk to the drill instructors every day about that one kid that they sent down there. Like, we just get phone calls every day. No. And
not at all.
They're like, why is he back? I'm like, I don't know. Did you ask him? Oh, well, they kicked him out. Okay, well, that means he fucked up. So they kicked him out.
So why are you asking me why is he back if you knew they kicked him out?
Yeah, so then like, well, when can he go back? It depends on what he did, and he probably can't go back. So then he calls me, yo, so when am I getting my check? What check? Well, I was on Parris Island for X amount of time, and I was getting paid while I was there. That's what you told me. So I should say, where's my check? Yo, you're not getting the check, dude. What you mean? How do you think they paid for your transportation and the food when you was there and your transportation back to here? They used your money. You ain't getting the check. Oh, that's bullshit. Well, what you gonna do? What, you gonna go back and fight him? No,
you sure aren't.
So there's ways to go about doing it, but quickest way off of Parris Island, quickest way off any boot camp that I'm aware of is to graduate. So
graduate.
I don't know why, but you hear like online, like all these these current service members, just talking grimy like, oh well. I don't know why I did this. This is stupid, and they need to understand that I'm not doing this when they tell me I'm not going to do this. Yes, you are, because you have two options: do it or don't, and then you will do what your rank can handle from that point. So, pick your poison. Do it, and you'll be fine. Don't do it. You'll also be fine. You just won't be fine there.
Right. You will be in lots of pain, I will tell you that. Just because I'm telling you you're gonna be in lots of pain does not mean they will not put their hands on you, but you will feel it later on.
And the other, and I said to myself I wasn't gonna bring this up, but the other thing that gets a lot of, especially now because of social media, what gets a lot of the newer military members and veterans in a lot of trouble is their spouses.
Yeah, but that hasn't changed.
Yeah, I feel it's more highlighted now, but you're right, it actually hasn't changed a whole lot as far as like spouses saying and doing things in the military.
Right.
What people have to understand is while the spouse isn't in the military and they're not beholden to the UCMJ as the military members are, that doesn't mean things that they say and or do go unpunished, because their spouses are still beholden to all the policies for the UCMJ.
Wait a minute. Stop. You can't talk about that. That's a whole nother episode.
That's fair. Okay.
That's right. I stopped them. Be mad.
You're right. We'll get into that. Okay. So there was one that I know we talked about earlier that I know this one's big. Okay. So let me explain first. The comb landing event in the Marine Corps is called the Crucible. So for those that don't know what the Crucible is, it's a 72-hour comb landing event. So everything you've learned up until that point, they jam pack into 3 days, 72 hours. Within that 72 hours, you get 3 MREs. That's it. And it's limited sleep. And there's a lot of team building exercises within that. The drill instructors literally take off their campaign covers and they put on the soft caps at that time. And they become more mentors and instructors than they are drill instructors. They're not really yelling at you unless you screw it up, then they yell at you. It's more instructive and guiding, mentor type from that time. And like you'll literally sit down with your drill instructors and they will literally talk to you like a person. And then you learn that each event has like history behind it, and you like learn the history of what that event and why you're doing that event that type of way. It's really, really cool. Tiring as all hell, mentally exhausting, but it's the culminating event. Now in Pendleton, the West Coast, at MCRD San Diego, they do the Crucible, and then they do a march. They go up a Reaper. It's a really mountain you climb up. And from what I understand, it's really tough. I'm not trying to like compare it, because I don't want to do it. But they climb the Reaper, and they have their ceremony on top of the Reaper.
I want no parts of that thing.
Exactly. Paris Island, we rough back from the Crucible site to the parade.
10 miles.
Well, it's an X mile march. It's like 9-10 miles, so they call it the X mile march because you're not supposed to know how long it is. But it's at around 9 to 10 miles that we rock back. Everything that we brought, we rock it all back. That ends with us being on the parade deck in formation, and then they extend the formation. And then at this point, the same men that have been kicking your ass for about 10 to 12 weeks literally walk down the line and give you your eagle opening. It is literally the first time you are called a Marine. It is the most emotional moment that you're gonna be on Paris Island, because it's literally, you made it. Like you got your eagle globe and anchor. And again, these same men that I promise you have been beating the shit out of you for 10 to 12 weeks are now calling you Marine, and they're giving you your EGF.
Yes.
And it's the best feeling in the world. Like to this day, I remember exactly how my whole body felt. And because I had, I don't know who you had. I had seen Josh Pops. I think you had, I don't know who you had.
What's his name? Why do I always forget his name?
Or Reckonu or?
No, it was the new dude.
Smith.
Yeah, it was Smith. I had Smith.
So
and he was very surprised. Very surprised. He was like, Stanley, was you holding back?
Yeah.
Like, wait, what?
Because it's like everything you went through, it all just comes to the surface and it all comes out. All like pain, everything.
Now,
so
story time.
Go for it.
And I know you remember this.
Mm-hmm.
We are hitting the bags, and you are holding my bag.
Mm-hmm.
Drill instructors are standing behind the person holding the bag.
Mm-hmm.
This particular drill instructor got pissed off because he thought I was taking it easy on Easterling because he was smaller than me.
He was taking it easy.
And was I taking it easy? Yeah, I might have been a little bit because it's my brother. So the drill instructor then challenges me.
Mm-hmm.
He says, Stanley, is that all you got? You can't hit it harder than that? And I looked at him and I was like, this motherfucker is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So Alpha Bless looks at me and says, hit this motherfucker.
I'm not in it at this point. I just back away.
So I hit the bag. He falls down. Drill instructor's cap falls off. He's pissed.
Mm-hmm.
Screams for Hernandez. Hernandez, get your big ass over here and hold this bag for Stanley.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
He's like, so you put an Easterling on his ass.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what you can do with somebody your own size.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, Hernandez ain't related to me.
Nope.
Hernandez ain't giving me permission to hit the bag heavier. He don't need to.
Nope.
You bigger than I am.
Mm-hmm.
They had no idea that I got off on knocking motherfuckers bigger than me out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what did I do? I put Hernandez on his ass while he was holding that bag.
Yeah.
And if you watching this, Hernandez, don't lie. You know what happened.
And the thing about it is like, so we have all this, because no other way to put it, they're building killers. Like we got all this aggression, and we can't go back at the drill instructors, whatever. It's like we got all this aggression, like everything's all built up, all this anger, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to this moment, and this dude, he says whatever he says to you, and then he gives you that he wolf and anchor, and you're sitting there looking at it, and all that stuff just, man, it's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, that shit just melts.
Now, you literally go from being called whatever name they gave you, whatever they want to call you, whatever. So now, literally from that moment on, they call you Marine. Literally, every day, you go to the chow hall. Hey, Marine. It's like the whole time you go through that. Then you go through Family Day. And then your family sees you because you do a graduation rehearsal, and then your family comes out and meet you or whatever. I know. We'll get to that. And then, your family comes up, and then you're basically Marine. You just literally haven't graduated.
Mm-hmm.
So your family sees the finished product. So they see like what you left, and then they look at you now. And then you graduate, so on and so forth. Now, they still do the crucible.
Yep.
So they still do that. But now when they get to the repo, they get to the grade deck, they get their tan belts from their McMap training. So McMap is a Marine Corps martial art program.
Mm-hmm.
They get their tan belts, started graduating McMap. They get their EGAs on Family Day. So the family gets to see the ceremony of you earning or gaining the title Marine. Now, I lean towards the old school way one, for the reason that you're about to bring up, and two, for the fact that for me, I feel it was a personal thing because I went through this and I want that to be an event in and of to myself, and I want my family to see the end product. I want them to see it. Now I see the rainbow farts and unicorn jizz of saying, okay, your family gets to see it too, and everybody's happy to see you become Marine. I get that. But you tend to have a situation like what you're about to talk about.
So my family didn't fucking show up for Family Day. But
not because they didn't want to.
Right. Not because they didn't want to. But because they did not get the letters that was sent to them, giving them the day, date, and time of Family Day. So yes, if you're thinking what I think you're thinking, you are correct. If you are not tracking thus far, the motherfuckers at boot camp will withhold letters and not send them bitches out. You know why? Because that is mentally and emotionally breaking you the fuck down.
So yeah. So for me, again, like because of that reason, I don't think it's because not everybody can make it to family. Not everybody can stay extended days travel from wherever they're traveling to get to Paris Island and stay there and see the family day and then see the graduation. Some people have just enough to get to the graduation and that's it.
Right.
Not everybody has the ability to do both because you got all kind of backgrounds at Paris Island. You got folk that's rich. You got folk that ain't got nothing.
A pot to piss in.
Exactly. Like I tell people this all the time, and all people like think I'm joking, but say it. But now I got you here, you can verify. Our drill instructor was the drill instructor that made Riddick Bowe, the former heavyweight champion of the world, quit Marine Corps.
Radicals.
No, what's Smith? There's some.
Was it Smith?
There's no some Stats Sergeant Thomas. See, just as Stats Sergeant Thomas made Riddick. It's okay. Let me back up. Riddick Bowe is the former unified world heavyweight champion of the world. Riddick,
that's questionable, but okay.
He beat Goliath anyway. Riddick Big Daddy Bowe, heavyweight champion of the world, decided after he went through his whole thing with Kamada and didn't have the belts anymore, he decided he was going to become a Marine. So he went to Paris Island. One of his drill instructors was then drill instructor Staff Sergeant Thomas. He wasn't a senior yet.
That's right. I remember this.
He then Staff Sergeant Thomas made the former heavyweight champion of the world quit. Say what you want about that. Put whatever bow or whatever you want to. He made him quit. We also, during our time, I don't know if it was right before, no, on Lee's side, Scottie Pippen's nephew was in boot camp on Lee's side. Remember that real tall kid?
All right. Yep.
That was Scottie Pippen's nephew. Was in boot camp. They made him quit.
Yeah, he didn't make it either.
Yeah, I think he made it to he didn't make the swim, which is kind of like happened. He never made it.
Nope.
They made him quit. So
Swim Qual got rid of a lot of people.
Yeah. So I was having this conversation with a friend of mine. We're talking about like vacations and stuff like that. And we're like, well, what do you do when I like to go on cruises? I love to go like cruise. And just recently came back from Voyage. And they asked me, so what did you do when you went to this island? It's like, oh, this island, walked around, saw some shops, did like a little rum tour, whatever, which is like a, cigar factory and somewhere, whatever they ate. And then, had some empanadas, from the locals. And then I got back on the boat. Oh, okay. What did you do when you got to this island? It was too hot. I didn't feel like it. So I stayed on the boat. Well, you went to Old San Juan. Yeah, I went to Old San Juan, walked around a little bit, but we don't stay until nighttime at Old San Juan, really get some kicking at night. So I just went out, walked around, visited this old military fort, came back, bought some food, ate, and then I went back to the boat. If you didn't go to the beach and go snorkeling, I'm like, no. They're like, why? I'm like, I can't really swim all the way. Wasn't you a Marine? Every time I tell people that I don't swim that well, the first thing out their mouth is, wasn't you a Marine? Listen, I did just enough to make it through swimming.
I remember that. Just
enough. When I tell you just enough, I mean, so you're supposed to be able to float. My body's very dense. So when they put your feet, they call it a scum gutter. You're supposed to put your feet in the scum gutter. And you're supposed to lean back, relax. And you're supposed to fill your whole chest cavity with air. And biologically and scientifically, you're supposed to float. My black ass, right to the bottom. So they thought I was messing around. So they had me do it like 4 or 5 times. And finally the instructor said, your big ass really can't float. But mind you, I'm not that big. I'm like 130, 140 pounds. I'm like,
he was worried about you not making swim qual.
Right. So finally, and they had all they called the nine quals or whatever. All the black folk basically was up against the one. They kept going through. So then they said,
except for me.
So they gave us an alternate method of floating because they're like, we can't float. So I had to do the whole bicycle kick and the little arm trace, shoot, pull thing or whatever. I finally got that part, got the tread water part, and then did the whole like on my back from like the one end to the other end, turn around, back. So I got past all that. The only thing left is the platform.
Yeah.
Now, how you supposed to do this? For those that don't know, you get up to the platform, they tell you to hang 10 toes, you step off, go straight down, and then you, however you gonna swim, get to the ladder, get out the pool, and you are basically training your swim ball for SW4, and you're basically training you pass. You then have the option to move up swim levels if you so choose. Now, important fact, our graduation date was December 23rd, 1999, 2 days before Christmas. If there was any delay, you are not going home without Christmas.
Not at all.
I get up the ladder. I get up there, and I'm sit up there, and they're like, hang 10 toes. So I'm scooching. Toes ain't no, it's like about a foot away, and I'm just freaking the hell out. Finally get up there and hang 10 toes. Now I got Smith behind me. Seeing just that's our Thomas is down below by the ladder, and the instructors are in the pool. And I guess they got sick of all of us at this point because we're all the ones that like all we need to do is this, and we all freaking out. So first dude freaking out a little bit, second dude freaking out. One dude didn't do it, and then it's me. He ain't gonna do it. He's scared. He ain't gonna do it. He ain't gonna fucking do it. Get up that thing, hang 10 toes, hang 10 toes. I finally get up there, hang 10 toes. He ain't gonna do it. Smith come behind. He's like, your black ass wanna go home for Christmas? Now, what I did, what you're supposed to do is just step off and go straight down. I looked over, saw the ladder off to the right, like about 10 some odd foot away, and jumped my black ass towards that, but landed about 3-4 foot away from the ladder, off at an angle, down, touched the bottom of the pool, shot my black ass up, but at an angle towards the ladder, grabbed the ladder, got out of the pool, and walked away. Graduated.
Right the fuck out.
Yep. Barely got wet.
He didn't even have to swim to the ladder.
Nope. And then nobody say nothing.
Well, what were they gonna say? They was trying to get the fuck out of that water.
Yep. And I was done. At that point. So anybody, so that's like you and me talking about a vacation, and it involves a cruise. Know that I possibly went to the beach. I may have even gotten in the water, but I didn't do any snorkeling. I didn't do any jet skiing. I didn't do any canoeing. I didn't do any of it. because of reasons. We'll say.
Meanwhile, on the other hand, I would have done all that shit. I can swim. So for you black people out there like, what? and for you Caucasian people who are like, wait, what does he mean, black people? Can they not swim? If you don't know, I'm not telling you, and you don't need to know why.
If you ask anybody that's gone through the Marine Corps boot camp, for some people, like for every person that goes to boot camp, they all have what I call they have that one thing that's their thing they have to get over to graduate.
Yep.
I had no problem with any of the things we had to do.
Yeah.
Mine, I knew was going to be swim. I knew that was going to be the one thing that I was going to freak out about in it. So the trio was the one thing that I was freaked out about. But once I got it done, it was all downhill for me. It was like, you're done.
I thought mine was going to be the rappel tower.
That was fun.
It was fun, but I hate heights. So, once I got up there, I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah, that's right. You don't like heights.
And then coming down, I was like, fuck this, let's go.
Forgot about that. I forgot you ate.
It took me a minute, though. Because and it was Smith. Again, Smith was up there with me.
Mm-hmm.
And he says to me, Stanley, what you waiting for? Sir, this recruit's afraid of heights, sir. He's like, what the your big ass is afraid of what? He's like, if you don't get your ass off my fucking rappel tower right now, Stanley, he said, you going down one way or the other. The way you came up or that way. You need a push? I was like, no, sir. As soon as he said you need a push, I was like, fuck this.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, Stanley, slow down.
Yeah. Because you're supposed to go into a deep-seated L.
Yep.
And you're supposed to bend your knees and kick back and then shoot your offhand out and then rappel down and then stop and then do it again. And then you're supposed to stop halfway down and scream at your name, platoon, and your senior drill instructor, and then keep going down and then get to the bottom, hold your hands like this, and run backwards so like the rope will pop up and like hit you in the face or whatever. And you were done. Like that was it. Like you have to do that. And then I think that was it. You only do this the one time. I think.
Yep. Just once. Remember.
Yeah. So you did it the one time and then that was it. And I did it the one time, but I remember thinking, can we call it again? Like
you wanted to do it again.
Yeah, because that and wasn't the zip line, but the one where you like get on the rope, you got your leg draped open, hold stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like
over the water.
Fun. Yeah, that shit was fun for me.
I had a blast doing that shit too. That shit was dope.
That shit was fun. It was like, because you had to go, like, you had to split the rope down the middle. Your one leg's hang, your other leg is hang, you pull it like this. You go through it. Then halfway there, you stop, hang down, turn around, and then grab it, and then like put yourself up and drape your legs over back. So now you like this.
Yep.
Like, I didn't understand how folk was having a hard time with that.
Everybody was falling off.
I had no idea how folk was. I don't know something.
But for the most part, most of the dudes that fell off were like my size.
True. Very true. Yeah, true.
Mm-hmm.
So, but things like that, thankfully, haven't changed. Like, they still do, all those things. Except, but just that it's.
Yeah.
If I had to do it again, I would definitely go old school, but I would add in the newer technology for physical fitness.
Oh yeah.
Because there's a lot of things that I know we did that was a detriment to us, physically. Like we got through it, like we just kind of brute forced our way through it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of like, muscles, torn down muscles, built up muscle. But I definitely feel there was a smarter way that we could have went about it. But again, the Marine Corps being what the Marine Corps is, they lean heavy on tradition and like how things have always worked up until that point. So I get it and I understand it. But now knowing what we know now, there's a lot better way that we can go about doing what we do. So I would definitely go with 1, because of the discipline. 2, because of the tradition. 3, because of the standards that a lot of things that I still use to this day. I would just add the technology as far as the physical fitness is concerned. The other technology, I can have it or not have it. I don't really care about it because I know what the Marine Corps did worked. So for me, I can leave that. But old school with the new knowledge of physical fitness is which is the way I would go. So what about you?
I could dig that. I ain't mad at that at all. You know why? And I know if you watch the pilot, we said we wouldn't agree very often, but this is one of those times where we might actually agree. And I'm not going to say might, I'm just going to delete that part and say we actually do agree on this. I would definitely go back. I tried to go back and they were like, nah, you too old. But that's besides the point. I would go back and I would do old school training. More so with me for the discipline and the organization of skills and the knowledge, because it forced me to remember things that to this day, some of those things I still remember, some of them I don't. Like, you know, what was it? The 12
general orders.
The 12 general orders, I don't remember any of those, except for the 13th, which is the one you don't learn until you become a Marine. To walk your post from flank to flank and take no shit from any rank. That was my favorite one.
Yeah, of course you would remember.
My favorite one. And my other reasoning for wanting to go old school back then, the whole purpose of a drill instructor was to push you beyond your limits. Now, from what I'm hearing and what it seems like, they can push you, but they can't push you beyond your limits now. Once you decide that you can't go anymore, they back off.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Yeah. So for that reason alone, I would go old school, just because I know they're going to push me to do more than I believe I can do. And when somebody else has that kind of faith in you, it makes you want to do more. It forces you to do more because you want to see if you got it too. And if you fail yourself, then you fail. But if you fail somebody else who's pushing you, that's a big slap in your ego.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's one thing to, because I remember everybody I spoke to that went through the Marine Corps bootcamp all say the same thing. The one person they both feared and respected were their drill instructors. Like, you had, you didn't want to, and after a while, you just didn't want to disappoint your drill instructor. You want to show them, well, you keep on, dogging on me, but I know how to watch me do this the right way. Right. And even though at the time you don't know for the first 4 to 5 weeks whether you do it right or wrong, it's wrong. Because everybody has to do it. And you pick that up later, but at the time you're just trying to do everything this person is screaming at you to do. And what they say, and this is the thing that drives me crazy with like I said with the new school, because back then it was, and we heard this over and over again, instant willing obedience to orders. You just had to do it and do it now. I told you to do this, so do this now. Right. And there's no time to interject a freaking opinion in any of that. Pick up your rifle, hold your rifle this way. Well, what if I hold it? There's no room for debate. There's a reason why. There was a Marine Corps general who was given a speech to a bunch of other senior NCOs and officers. And he said, do you want to know why the Marine Corps ribbons are, centered and a quarter of an inch above pocket, and straight and quarter inch above pocket? And everyone's sitting looking, he's like, because we fucking told him to. This rigid obedience to orders. We told you that's what it was. That's what it was. So when I tell you that your final line of fire is at 45 degrees at this angle, it's not 46, it's not 44 and a half, it's 45, because that's where I needed to be. Like, and it just makes sense. And a lot of people can't understand that. They think that, well, because I'm grown, I should have an opinion. No, not during training. No,
Not at all.
not at all. So that's one thing that I feel that's one thing that has to go. And it sounds bad to say that opinions and everything need to go from bootcamp. It sounds horrible to say that. Like a recruit shouldn't have it. He should have a say. Absolutely not.
Does it though?
When
Does it
we say it, no. But someone who's never been or doesn't understand will hear that and be like, well, why can't they have an opinion as to wage?
It's just like, why do you sign an NDA when you leave a fucking major corporation, asshole?
Good point. Good point. Good point.
So for all you jerks that just asked that question, that's my response to it. Fuck out of here, NDA signing bitches.
There you go. Fair enough.
That's right, I'm starting early. Fuck y'all.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. So I guess overall, old school, it had its time, it's had its place.
Mm-hmm.
New school, I get it. They're doing a lot of things better. The equipment's better. My fear or my hope is that they take a lot of the lessons, a lot of the experience from the old school and integrate it with the new things that they're doing. So when that technology breaks down, you know how to actually do certain things. Like
Yes.
when the FBCB2, when we call it fuzzy bunny chocolate line, the FBCB2, like the maps in the vehicles, when they break down, you should be able to pull out a map and the static compass, and you should be able to plot where you're at, and you should be able to plot to where you need to go by an actual map. You shouldn't be crippled by technology. And my fear is that that's a possibility, that they're going to go too far in technology and they're going to lose the basics. They're going to therefore lose the identity of the military in and of itself, because now you're dependent far too much on a computer or a program to do what you should already know how to do.
Right. So I'm not even going to repeat what he said. I'm just going to say ditto, copy that. You're tracking, I'm tracking, y'all understand. I hope your ears were open, because if they weren't, you missed out. And for those of you new schoolers who say, well, maybe not, when your shit starts to break down, make sure you rewatch this fucking episode.
No. And if you got opinions to the contrary, if you got opinions to the contrary, hey, we can do a follow-up episode. We'll bring you on and we can have that debate. You can you can tell us exactly how your experience was new school wise, and listen, I got 2 ears for a reason. They may not work too well, that's so said the VA, but they work well enough. So if you want to come on and debate us or to give us your experience as far as new school's concerned, come on,
hit us up.
More than welcome.
We will be more than happy to have you on the show. No judgment here. This is a judge-free zone.
And I promise I won't curse you out too much.
Unless you signed an NDA, bitch. Yo, ain't no more to it. That's it. It's over. Alpha, you got some more to say?
Actually, no, I do. I do. I got one last thing to say. So
here we go.
For the veteran community, it gets rough sometimes, and sometimes we have a huge thing where we like to self-isolate. So if you know a vet, if you are a vet, know other vets, or if you're a family member of a veteran, or somebody in your family's a vet, give them a call. You ain't gotta say nothing, just give them a call. I said, how they doing? You have no idea what that phone call could do. We're losing way too many vets, and one is too many. We're losing them at a clip of something like 22 a day. So reach out, just say hi, ask them how they're doing, and you have no idea the life you may save. So reach out to your vets, like call your battle buddies, call your uncle, call your cousin, call your friend that you know from high school into the military. Give them a call and just talk to him or her, just ask them how they're doing. You never know what the phone call. So that's all I got.
And I'm gonna put this out there. I talk a lot of shit on this show. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna admit that. I'm a shit talker. That's what I do, but I could back it up. But with that being said, if you are a veteran and you don't have anybody to talk to, hit me. Hit me. I'll talk to you. I'll listen. I ain't even gotta talk to you. I'll just sit there and listen. Because sometimes that's all a vet needs is an ear.
Yep.
You heard? No pun intended.
We get into all that. That's a whole nother shit.
Right. See how we set y'all up for 2 more episodes? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. And if you didn't watch, I'm sure you listened, and we appreciate you for that. He's Alpha Bless. I'm Omega Sin. This has been Veterans on Life, and we out of here. Alpha Bless. Say peace to the people.
2 fingers.
Peace.
Thank you for watching the Veterans on Life podcast with your host, Alpha Bless and Omega Sin. You are appreciated.